Finding a job was like a full-time job for him, like 9 to 5, 9 to 9 in fact.
They were paying quite a good rate, and the weekend rates were quite high, and I was planning to work during the weekends. Public holiday rates were almost double for me.
So there was a lot of pressure on us.
I was also happy that I was being recognized in the Australian market, and I had to find out ways in order to get that final offer letter. My very first interview over here in Australia was for one of the largest organizations in the world. So hi guys, do you think getting a job in Australia is impossible, or do you think getting a job in Australia is easy? If you have both these questions, then the answer to these questions is a big no.
So hi guys and welcome back to Artee vlogs. This is the most awaited and requested video. You guys have messaged me a lot asking for this video, and we are really very sorry that we couldn't make this video soon. We were stuck with some work, and finally this video is happening today.
So guys, this is going to be a video series wherein we are going to share experience on my first job here in Australia, and what are the mistakes which we did and how we went through in order to get that first breakthrough in Australia.
So guys, get set to watch our job video series. Make sure that you do not skip anything so that you get all the information that you need. So this video is like an introduction video. It's going to be a brief overview of our job search, of Akash's job search.
And you're going to get more information in the following video series. Well guys, getting a first job can give sleepless nights to many new immigrants and many job search aspirants. And it can significantly hamper your decision of moving out of that comfort zone and then settling down in a totally new country. Well guys, if you are a new immigrant or if you are searching for a job here in Australia, then I would like you to remember one mantra, and that is give your best and be prepared for the worst.
This video series is going to help new immigrants and job searchers,
and it will also give you insights on what mistakes you should avoid in order to maximize your job search. So if you are going to survive on those savings, then it is going to increase your anxiety levels and stress levels, and it can significantly hamper your normal life as well as your job search effort and also your interview performance.
So please watch our video on monthly expenses here in Australia and how much you should be prepared for your expenses
for that initial phase when you move or migrate to Australia for the first time.
So the link is here, you can click it and check out the video. So we have also made so many videos on how did we travel to Australia during the pandemic, videos related to groceries here in Australia, what all do you get, our house hunting video, and so many other videos, right?
Absolutely. Even videos like getting your driver's license, full driver's license, and what are the process involved and everything a new migrant faces. We have made videos on that and shared a lot of useful information.
So make sure to subscribe to this channel so that it encourages us to make such more beautiful and informative videos for you all. So please do that and like this video and watch my other videos as well. So guys, it is very important to be proactive and plan in advance to maximize your job search.
As per our experience, Australian market functions differently compared to other countries, and you need to have a strategy and a plan in order to land that first job.
The process of migrating to Australia is usually dipped in fear,
financial strain,
and great uncertainty.
Well guys, the market conditions were quite tough when we landed here in Australia in early August 2020.
So there were jobs available, but at the same time there were a lot more applicants who were applying for the same job.
Well, trust me guys, one of the recruiters told me personally on telephonic conversation that the job which I was applying for had 100 plus applicants. I'm not scaring you guys, but I'm just telling you the reality which we faced during that phase of time. Well guys, the most common barrier over here for any new immigrant, I would say a hypothetical barrier which is created by most of the recruiters and employers, is the word local experience.
Local experience.
So guys, we don't know why do they consider this local experience, like they want this in their resume.
But it's a fact.
So getting a job in Australia is not impossible, but it is not easy either.
Well, there are a couple of stages you should be aware of when you start applying for jobs here in Australia, and we are going to discuss those stages in this video.
So the first stage is preparing an Australian style resume.
The second stage would be applying jobs through various job portals and also doing networking.
So the next stage is clearing the initial interview stage.
The next stage is clearing the main interview stage, and it will include your technical as well as HR round.
Then it is salary negotiation, reference check, medical check, police check,
and the final stage would be the offer letter.
So guys, you have also asked about our backgrounds. What do we do? Where are we from? And what are our fields? I'm a graphic designer. I have experience in branding, marketing, visual merchandising, designing of textile prints, and many more things. I'm totally into designing. So that's just a brief.
Well guys, as far as I'm concerned, I'm a mechanical engineer by profession, but my experience lies in operations, workplace safety procedures, quality procedures, and environment management and compliance. Well guys, my very first interview over here in Australia was for one of the largest organizations in the world. Well, I was quite nervous because I was answering an interview after almost a decade. Well, I had already cleared my preliminary interview stage, which was an higher view interview. Well, I know this is going to be a new term for many of you, while others might be aware of what is an high view interview. I'm going to make a separate video on how I answered my high view interview, or what you should be considering while answering an high view interview, what is an high view interview, and how to crack that high view interview. However, I was not successful in that interview because the hiring manager told me that they wanted some more relevant stories in my interview session. So I'm going to definitely share about what are the mistakes which I did and what mistakes you should be avoiding in order to get that first job here in Australia. Well, I was very disappointed, because I was unsuccessful, but I was also happy that I was being recognized in the Australian market, and I had to find out ways in order to get that final offer letter.
As Akash progressed with his job search, he did a couple of mistakes
During the first few months of the job search.
but eventually he improved a lot upon it.
So guys, it is very important to take a break and review your strategy if it is not working out.
As the saying goes, if you keep doing the same thing, you will keep getting the same thing.
Guys, many of you will be aware of, the famous PDCA cycle, which is plan, do, check, act. So you have to plan, then you implement your strategy, then you check your strategy whether it is working or not, and then you improve on it or you act on it. So this PDCA cycle is applicable just everywhere in your life.
So there was a lot of pressure on us, and it is natural to be stressed during these circumstances.
So I had a schedule which I followed from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. every day, including the weekends sometimes.
So finding a job was like a full-time job for him, like 9 to 5. 9 to 9 in fact.
Well guys, during this period I also used to work out every day, and then also used to take some short breaks during my job search, keep myself motivated, and it's because it's obvious to get those stress levels and anxiety levels high. And also me and Artee used to keep motivating each other and give that emotional support, which was very important during those days.
So the current job scenario over here in Australia has improved significantly,
and there are a lot more jobs available in the market than they were in the past couple of months.
so you can visit various Australian job portals and see the results itself. So even the Australian Prime Minister has said that the number of jobs have increased in the Australian market.
Hence the situation has improved, and it is much better than it was 4 to 6 months ago, as more people have got into the job market, and the possibility of finding a job in the current scenario is more than it was a couple of months ago. Well, I started my rigorous job search, from early October, but it was very tough for me from mid-November till end of January, because things slow down over here during that period, which is a Christmas period over here, and it is one of the longest vacations for many people here in Australia.
Most of the businesses are shut during that period of Christmas. Like, we can still say that it's not impossible to find a job during that season.
But it becomes difficult.
So if you are a new immigrant and planning for your first entry, we would suggest that you should plan anywhere between January to October.
Well, as per our experience, it is important that you consider a period of 3 to 6 months, to get your first job as a reference when you land in Australia.
Some may even get their job within a month, whereas others can take even more than 6 months.
Well, it's about being at the right time in the right place. Well, guys, it is also very important to be prepared for the rejections during your job search, and you should come back, stronger after learning from these rejections.
So you should use various job search tools to maximize your job search efforts.
And we will be discussing about these tools in our upcoming videos. So guys, let me tell you one thing. I got a job which I didn't even apply for. So what happened was, the recruiter just happened to contact me looking at my LinkedIn profile, and we were just having this conversation, and he took my preliminary or initial interview. Well, he was impressed with what I told him, and how I presented myself with him, and he immediately scheduled the main interview for me. I cleared that main interview. The same day I had my HR interview. The HR was also satisfied with my responses, and that's it. I got my first job.
Yeah, that was totally unexpected and we couldn't believe at first.
So let me tell you one thing over here, guys. It's not only about applying to Seek, Indeed or LinkedIn. So there are various other things which you should be trying in order to, maximize your job search strategy. Well, guys, this may sound easy, but let me tell you one thing. I had a number of unsuccessful interviews, many rejections, but I kept learning from these rejections and unsuccessful interviews. I, kept refining my resume. I kept refining my ways of answering interviews, and finally, I was able to, secure a job.
So Akash had got 2 job offers. One was casual job and one was like a permanent full-time job. And by the way, guys, even I have got a casual job offer.
The casual job which I got over here, it was also not that easy process. I had to go through, a detailed interview wherein the manager of the store interviewed me for almost 15 to 20 minutes, and they were proper interview questions, let me tell you. And we are going to, make a separate video on how I answered those casual interviews, because they are one of the famous supermarket chains over here in Australia. And we will definitely make a detailed video on how you should be preparing your resume for a casual job, because our casual job resumes were different than our main job profile resume.
And also I have recorded a few clips.
So I had also gone through medical tests, police checks for my casual job, and it's a thorough process basically. You just cannot get it. And they were paying quite a good rate, and the weekend rates were quite high, and I was planning to work during the weekends. Public holiday rates were almost double for me. So I was planning to take up this job, maybe during the weekends, so that we had some kind of income and keep my permanent job search on side by side.
So guys, if you are in Australia or if you are planning to come to Australia and if you are looking for a job, don't worry much. I know it is a little difficult. You are not alone, because even we went through all this and we did overcome, and finally we are here with a job. Like Akash is with his job. He has got his job.
The situation has improved significantly than it was, a couple of months back. And there are more jobs in the market. Definitely this video was about a brief overview on how did we find a job and what are the things which are currently happening here. The upcoming series is going to be in more detail about what are the things you should be doing, what are the things you should be keeping in your mind while preparing your resume, then how you should be answering your interviews, and all those stuff we are going to discuss in more detail.
And we are also going to share about our experience, our story, what were the challenges that we faced during this phase.
Absolutely. And also what are the mistakes which we did, and you can avoid that so that you get that your first job as soon as possible.
You need to be strong, positive, and encourage your partner, and be confident in whatever you do, and you will get whatever you want. So guys, before signing off, just a reminder that this is a series video. So this was just an introduction. We are going to come up with more videos in this series about our job search. So stay tuned for those videos. Subscribe to my channel and like this video and share it with your friends who are in need of such information. So till then, bye.